Hi, thanks for checking out our channel here. This is just a kind of a show and tell testing video of a unit we worked on. This took about 45 minutes to fix, so I started making a video, but it was just getting too out of hand, and I just stopped the video and just had to focus on fixing it versus explaining what was going on. So what was wrong with this particular unit? If you want to send us something, that's where you can send it to. All this information is down below in our description area. But if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, we'd appreciate that. I'd like to hit the thumbs up button, appreciate that too. This is an old Sears solid state electric fence box. It's a private label Parmak from back in the day. This date on the inside of this was, I don't remember the month, but it's either 1992 or 1982. I would say probably, I would lean more towards 82, but it could have been 92. I don't know. It's really hard to see that was a 9 or 8, but there definitely was 19 something 2 in there. But anyways, this unit was clicking and pulsing and everything, but was not putting out but about 400 volts with one of these testers. Should be 7 or higher, 7,000 volts or higher, what these things normally put out. So we got dicking around on the inside and disconnected the transformer from the output just to get any of that stuff out of the way. We tested it now, and the transformer was putting out, didn't change, and was still putting out real low. So I temporarily wired in a new transformer. They don't make transformers for this style anymore. You have to retrofit the correct style of transformer into these, which we have a solid state transformer that works fine in these things. You just have to figure out a way to mount it, which we figured out a way and bolted it to the case and everything. And now it works fine, but the only thing that we couldn't get to work right with that style of transformer that we're using is we can't get the light to work. We can get it to work with it, but the way that the old transformer was designed, it had a third leg for the output that would go one side went to ground of this bulb, and the other side went to the coil of the transformer back up to the bulb here on that third leg. Well, this doesn't have a third leg on the output to run that side of the bulb. It has two outputs, two legs in the output, one for fence, one for ground. So I tried that, and it did work. I mean, the light flashed as bright as you could want it, but it dragged the voltage down to about 1,000 volts. So I tried playing around with it, trying to find other ways to do it, tried a couple other bulbs. Found another bulb that would work, but it would, instead of being 8,000 volts output, it would drag it down about 4,000, 5,000. It just was too much resistance there in that bulb. It would work. It was just a lot lower voltage coming out of it, and I didn't like that. So we had to just basically not electrically disconnect this bulb from the unit and just hardwire the transformer right to the output, to the fence and ground over here. It works fine, clicks and thumps and everything, puts about 8,000 volts, which mostly solid state units were between 7 and 10, and this one shows 8. So the only thing the thing does not work anymore is the bulb. Bulb's still there, but it's electrically not tied into the unit anymore because I can't get to work with the transformer that we have available for these. They don't make you can't get the factory transformer for this unit anymore. That's the it's a 30-year-old unit, so they don't make parts for it. So you can see we're getting about 8,000 volts out of it, which is right where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be between 7 and 10, 7 and 9. The guy's note said he would get about 9,000, but maybe on that transformer he would. But this transformer can't get the factory ones anymore, so you have to retrofit what you got. So this is what we had, and this is what we put in, and it works fine. Other than the fact the bulb doesn't flash anymore. And this does have a little resistance to it, so it does drag it down a little bit. See if I got another tester we can put across there, see if it makes put a digital one across there, see if we can get any kind of different reading on it. This is a junk one, but I think it halfway works. That shows 7.3 with this one, but that was normal, between 7 and 9,000 volts, what you would get out of these things. So you can do a spark jump across it. Camera's not always picking it up, but shoots about a quarter, half-inch spark between it, so it's working fine. So we'll get a hold of the customer, make sure they want to do it. I mean, it's a pretty cheap fix for a a unit like this. I mean, you can't really compare a new one nowadays to these old solid state stuff because nobody makes solid state anymore. So you can't really compare apples to apples. It's just not the same. So there's information again. So if you got an electric fence box you want to send off to us for us to work on, we have to take a look at it. Fencerfixer.com is our site. We also work in cattle scales and low bars for Gallagher and True Test and a few other brands. But we get free quotes and 1.5 year warranties on the repairs. So the transformer inside this, on the output transformer, now has an 18-month warranty on it. Lightning damage on the transformer is part of that warranty as well. So hopefully you like this kind of stuff. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you'd want, and hit that thumbs up button, ask us questions. And until next time, we'll see you guys later on.